Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to my custom villager houses tutorial series where we are building a house for each of the Minecraft villager professions. We only have a couple of builds left to do in this series, so if you don't want to miss out on those, you can subscribe if you would like to. Thank you for doing that. But all of these are from my survival series where we are making a custom village, and the original concept of this series right here came from Mythical Sausage. Both my playlist and his are going to be down in the description if you want to check those out. So far we have done the Cleric, Weaponsmith, Fisherman, Cartographer, Shepard, Butcher, Leatherworker, Armourer, Fletcher and Stonemason houses, but today we are building a home for the Toolsmith. As always, here is your materials list for the build, which of course has the usual spruce and oak at the top here, but this time also has a little bit of jungle, 2 stairs and 1 slab. Then we have all of the stone variants along here, which as I often do have been rounded up because we're going to be doing some texture mixing with all of these blocks right here, so just to make sure you have enough, they've all been rounded up just a little bit. We then have some white terracotta and bricks along here, and then the rest of the miscellaneous blocks at the bottom. And of course you're going to need some flowers to go inside of your flower pots and on top of your grass, some tools to go inside of your item frames, and then don't forget 3 sea pickles at the bottom here, but if you don't have access to sea pickles or a coral reef biome nearby, it's not the end of the world, don't worry too much about those. The size of this build is roughly 13 by 14 blocks, so just make sure you got enough room before you start building. And the first thing we can do here is place down our strip spruce logs. 1 can go right there and then leave a gap of 3 at the front. This is where the main doorway is going to be going. But around the side here we can leave a gap of 7, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the 8th block we can place another pillar and then just line that up with the other pillar at the front. Each of these can then be brought up by 3 more blocks for a total of 4, so we should have something that looks like this at the moment. Now we can start outlining the roof. So to begin with here, we're going to have an upside down spruce stair on top of these pillar blocks with a regular one coming out the back. A full plank can go on top of those upside down stairs with 2 more stairs on top of the full planks. Upside down ones coming inwards with 2 full planks again, 2 more stairs and then an upside down stair in the center. We can then place a normal stair just on top of it facing inwards like so, with an upside down one coming out the back. So we should be like this at the moment, where we can then grab our spruce slabs and place 2 on the bottom part of this plank here, 1 on either side. We can then have a spruce stair in the center with a spruce trapdoor underneath the 2 slabs. So the front should be looking like this. We can then copy it around to the back because it is completely the same. Now that you have the front and the back outline all done, we can then actually come up to the top level here and have 1, 2, 3, 4 stairs coming off the back of both of those on either side, where we can have a spruce plank to connect them in the middle, just like that. And then we can face the front of the house here where the doorway is going to be going right there, and come around to the left hand side, and we're going to have an upside down spruce stair on these 2 blocks, and then just connect those up with a line of slabs going across from one side to the other, so that it looks something like this. We can then come around to the back of the build here, and facing this way, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 spruce stairs, so that this block kind of curves round a little bit. We can then come around to this stair right here and once again have 1, 2, 3, and 4 stairs, and then face this place right here and just have another 4, so that we line up with the other side like that. Where then, if you've got all of this done and looking like this, we can then have an upside down spruce stair on the back of those 2 blocks, spruce trapdoor in front of them and 1 on top, just like so, spruce slab on top of the trapdoors with a stair in the center. And for the most part, that is the roof outline all done. Admittedly, this looks a little weird at the moment because it's hovering, but we'll sort that out later on. What we can do next is come up to this stair here and just kind of complete that outline by adding in the bit that connects it to this section of the roof. So we're going to place a temporary block here with a spruce trapdoor on the bottom of it, followed by a spruce slab. Going to need to place a couple more temporary blocks here and here so that we can place another spruce slab right there. And then we'll get rid of those 2, place a temp block, trapdoor, and then another slab can go right there. And then what we can do just quickly in this middle slab here, so where it goes trapdoor, slab, and on this slab we'll have a full brick block and another one on top with a campfire surrounded by spruce trapdoors, which is going to be a chimney. Again, looks kind of weird, but now we're going to fill in the rest of the roof. So you can grab your oak planks, stairs and slabs and come to this section here just next to the chimney, where we can place an oak plank on top of this pillar block right here with a slab on top, and then one more just to the left of it with another curved round so it's touching the brick blocks right there. We're going to have 2 stairs coming off the side of that full plank, followed by 2 slabs, and then we're just going to stick another 2 slabs behind it like so. And the other side is virtually the same except minus a chimney. So we're going to start off with 2 slabs here, followed by 2 stairs, and then another 2 slabs just behind those slabs. Another slab up by half a block, followed by a stair right here. And then what we can simply do next to this spruce plank, we'll have oak planks going all the way across, and then just curve around the stairs to connect up to the other side. And the rest of the roof is super simple. Where we have a spruce plank, we're going to have an oak plank. Where we have a spruce stair, we're going to have an oak stair and connect that up to the other side. How about we make this section of the roof not look like it's magically floating? I think we should do it. So for this part of the build, it's actually going to be made out of stone, and just for simplicity's sakes of the tutorial, I'm just going to be using stone bricks and adding in the other stone variants afterwards for texture once we're all done. But if you want to texturize as we go, feel free to do that. But just beside this pillar here, we're going to have a full block followed by 2 stairs with another full block, leave a gap of 2 and place 1 more right there. We're then going to have an oak fence next to this full block, oak fence gate with another oak fence, and then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 come around to this side and have 1, 2, 3. And each of these full blocks can then be brought up by a total of 4, so that's 1, 2, 3 on top all the way around. And for this section over here where we have the stairs, we just want to leave 2 blocks open here to actually place in a window. And then we can step inside here, and in this 2 wide gap we're going to have 2 blocks at the top with 2 upside down stairs either side, just to make a nice archway in from the outside work area into the house. And then very quickly, before we go ahead and add in all of the texture, we're going to have 3 upside down stairs at the top here, and the rest of these can become slabs just to fill in that ceiling. And now what we can do, as I said, is add in the cobble and the andesite and crackstone bricks to make this look a little bit better. We can then grab a window pane or 2 and place them on these 2 blocks right here, and then come around to this side and break away these 2 center blocks and replace them with iron bars. We're then going to have an upside down brick stair on those 2 blocks, brick slab in the center, oak fence either side of that with a brick slab on top, and then 1 more up half a block in the center, flower pot here with something to go inside just to make a nice little window around the side here. And then as for this side, we're not actually going to make a window of sorts, we're just going to create a barrel stack. So it's basically placing a bunch of barrels facing various directions to get something that looks a little bit like this perhaps, and then we can go ahead and just place down a couple of campfires and extinguish them with a shovel, and it kind of looks like logs stacked up beside the barrel. Facing the front of the build here, we're going to come to this very center block in line with the 2 pillars and have our spruce door on the back of this block just like that, and then we can go ahead and fill the rest of this entire face in with white terracotta, not forgetting this bit up the top as well. Something a little bit like that should be good. And at the top point here, we can actually just have 2 spruce buttons just to have something there instead of just plain old white terracotta. And at the bottom here beside our door, we're going to have 2 brick walls with 2 oak fences on top, and then 1, 2, 3 slabs just like that. As for the left hand side round here, we're going to have a line of white terracotta all the way across the bottom as well as across the top. We'll have 2 here, followed by 2 glass panes, then 4 more white terracotta just like that. 2 more glass panes, then 4 more white terracotta, so we should have something that looks like this. And then what we can do is just make another miniature barrel stack right here beside the window, something a little bit like that, where on top we can have our scaffolding and a lantern just right there. Next to this window in the center, we'll have an oak slab with 2 oak stairs either side of it, and then 2 oak fences up on that block. and then what we can do is actually realize I've made a mistake. On these blocks right here, we're going to go ahead and get rid of all of those and replace them with stairs going all the way across like that. I do apologize, but that right there should be how it looks, and then we can actually just place a flower pot here in front of the window, and it should be looking like this. As for round the back, what we can do is have 3 white terracotta across the bottom with 3 on either side, just like that, with 1 more at the very top point. We'll have 2 glass panes right here with a grass block on that one right there, and cover that up with spruce trapdoors just to make a nice little flower bed where we can of course place a flower. 2 oak trapdoors beside the glass panes with a lantern hanging down from that block. Can even dangle it down a little bit further using a chain if you would like to. But for this top part here, we're actually just going to quickly hop inside and fill up the rest of this with white terracotta, but punch out this block right here and replace it with an oak trapdoor. So that it looks like this from the outside. The very last thing we have to do with the exterior of this build is place down some spruce trapdoors. So we'll face the front of the build right here and come to this stair, and then we're going to have a trapdoor right there, leave a gap of 1, another trapdoor, and just do this all the way around until we reach this stair over here, and then we'll continue it on around this side as well. So trapdoor, gap, gap, and then we'll skip across to this side too, where we can then repeat the pattern of what we've been doing all the way across until we reach the start point and the front of the house is here again. So as I said, that is the outside of the build all done. We're now ready to head inside and start work there. The first thing we're going to do inside of here is actually take out all of the grass blocks you can see on this section right here inside the main part of the house, and replace them with brick blocks or brick slabs if you want to save on resources. So we have something that looks like this, and then what we can do is actually get rid of most of these blocks on the outside here. You don't actually need to get rid of all of them, but most of them. Maybe leave just 1 underneath these fences, because we kind of want to just make a textured pattern using gravel and smooth stone and then regular stone as well. So we eventually end up with something like this, and you can kind of, even if you want to, trickle it on outside as well. Maybe chuck in a little bit of coarse dirt here just to blend it a bit nicer. But yes, the floor should be like this for the outside working area, and nice and smooth with the brick on the inside. Just left of the doorway here, not in this corner block but one just in front of it, we'll have a spruce stair, and then 1, 2 and then 3 more, completing our staircase up to the top, where we can have an upside down one on the back of all of those. And then of course we need to fill out the ceiling of the top floor and the floor of the second one, and we're just going to do that using some spruce slabs going all the way across, with 2 in the corner here, or my bad, should just be 1. Make sure you can actually use the staircase without banging your head. And then once we're up here, we actually want to take out all of these blocks right here, which are the full planks from the outside, and actually just place down some oak stairs facing inwards on next to these planks right here. And then we're just going to curve them round just like that, mainly so we can smooth out the ceiling a little bit nicer at the top here. And then we'll have a line of oak slabs going all the way across, or oak planks if you want to. And then very simply, we just want to place 4 oak planks right here, maybe chuck a torch back there if you don't want mob spawning. But yes, just kind of close off this area, and now it's all nice and smooth, and we're ready to start building some actual furniture inside of here. I say furniture, but the first thing we're going to be building here is actually a forge. So to begin with, we're going to break this slab at the top here where above is the chimney, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 full brick blocks with an upside down stair just beneath it. 2 brick blocks either side of it with a slab on those 2 blocks right there, just to kind of smooth it up and get it all into the central pillar here leading up to the chimney above, as we just saw. And on this block we're going to have an item frame with a tripwire hook placed on the block, so it looks like this, not actually inside the item frame, so just placed to the side of the item frame, and kind of looks like something that would maybe hold a tool up or something like that. But then we can get ourselves a campfire and break this block right here, and actually just break away the dirt and trying to make this look a little bit neater using some of the stone, and place the campfire right here. And that right there is a super simple forge design. I've just realized something we could actually do is get some full brick blocks and just make them into brick instead of the stone that was there before. Just a little detail that makes it look slightly better. Just beside the forge here, beneath the iron bars, we're going to break 2 blocks underneath it and place a lever here, piston just above it like so, and we can actually go ahead and just replace that dirt once again with some stone. On top of that, we'll have an item frame with an iron pickaxe or just some sort of tool to go on display, maybe in the process of being smelted, but we'll just stick an anvil there beside our piston table. And that right there, for the most part, is the outside work area all done. We're now ready to head inside, and while we're at it with the piston and the levers in the hotbar, we're just going to break down 2 blocks again, another lever and then another piston, and of course replace the dirt with white terracotta, making it look a little bit neater. And then we're going to have an item frame on top of the piston and 2 beside it, and we'll have 2 tripwire hooks on both of those blocks, where we just want to display some tools like we did on the outside area with the iron pickaxe, but just with some other ones. And what I like to do on the walls here, where we have the tripwire hooks, is rotate them so it kind of looks like they're being propped up behind the tripwire hook itself. So something a little bit like that should be good. I keep spinning this golden hoe around one too many times, but yeah, there we go. Something like this just beneath the staircase. Of course, the toolsmith needs his workstation, which is the smithing table, which can go right there. 2 upside down spruce stairs beside it with a stone pressure plate and lever right here. Maybe tools or something he uses in the forge area outside. And then what we can do is come over to this corner here and have a barrel facing sideways, and then just a couple of chests here as extra storage. And that is actually the outside area and the downstairs area fully complete. We're now ready to head upstairs and do some work here, where the first thing we're going to do is place down our jungle blocks. If you're not a big fan of jungle, you could always replace this with dark oak or acacia, or even just use spruce and oak. It probably wouldn't look too bad at all. Or maybe another type of stair. Entirely up to you. I know not everyone's a huge fan of jungle, but just beside it here on this block, we're going to place a spruce trapdoor. Flick that up, have 2 trapdoors here so they're on level with the top of this block right here. You should be able to place 2 trapdoors like that, and then we'll have 1 more here just to make a nice little table. Of course, these tables need something to go on top of them, so in the corner here on the jungle we'll have a lantern block followed by a chest in the center with a flower pot just to the right of it. Over on the trapdoor table, we'll just have an item frame here. Leave it open or put something inside, entirely up to you. Could maybe be a plate of sorts. And then just beside it, we're going to place a couple of sea pickles, 2 or 3, whatever floats your boat. They're just a nice little decorative block and kind of look a little bit like candles. The very final thing to do is to place the villager's bed in the corner over here. Of course, can be whatever color you want it to be, but we also need a lantern on this block here just above the trapdoor window. And then we can have a scaffolding block with a flower pot on top, and then of course a flower to go inside. And then we'll just cycle through our paintings. These are some of my custom ones in case you don't recognize them, but just keep going through until you get one that you like. And so that, everybody, is actually going to be it for the tutorial for the Toolsmith's house. I really hope you guys did enjoy this build. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.